So guys, we have arrived at ArtMOSSphere. They are a aquascaping and nursery shop. I would say most of it is about aquascaping and aquariums, and then the half of it it's more towards not like half, maybe like a quarter of the shop. It's about houseplants and all that stuff. But today we're gonna be looking more at the tanks, and then definitely some scapes. But as you can see, there are some houseplants out there that people can just buy and bring it back home to make their home more cozy, much more comfortable. But you can see the concept of this sort is a bit unique compared to others, because usually where you see aquascaping shops, you see like air condition, a proper shop. I wouldn't say this is not proper, but it's much more different. It has like a much more outdoory feel. But without further ado, let's go. Let's start the tour with this huge. I would think it's a 5 feet tank. Not in the most optimum condition, I would say. There are some algae in the front, but look, definitely, it's a very nice show tank, and you can see it has like a big tree stump kind of look with a mix of dragonstone inside and some epiphyte plants, which are your Anubias copperfolia, some Java ferns. This is called a Riccia moss, if I'm not wrong. Yep, a Riccia moss with some like algae, but it looks pretty natural. At the back, you will have your, I would think that's a Cypress alfari, and not sure what this plant is. And you have glowfish, which I don't really like. Some people don't like it, but I don't like it as much. There's like air stones inside, some more Java ferns here and there, and a pretty nice, pretty good looking show tank. I chatted with the owner and they said that they are going to rescape this tank very soon. And then in the future, they'll be also like having AC on and all that stuff, which I would think would be very beneficial to everyone and also the tanks as well. But yeah, let's move on with the tanks. Wait, they also have like a driftwood setup here. And then there is a kind of paludarium style over here. Let's check out the plants on top first. I'm not super sure about the types of plant they're using here because I'm not really into paludariums or like immersed plants, but I can see some mosses here which are growing very well. Some type of hydroportal, and then a type of fern, I guess. They look super duper cool, and I'm pretty surprised that the mosses are kind of growing in this temperature, because in Malaysia it's usually pretty hot. We reach around like 34, 33 during like mid-afternoon. But pretty surprised that the mosses are growing pretty well. And the bottom part, I would say, isn't doing the best, but you can see it's similar to what a black water setup would be. It's very different type of paludarium, which usually paludarium has a lower level of water. This is like half and half. So it's a 60 cm tank. But I really like the top part. There's a lot of different stuff going on. Everything's grown in really well. And with the beautiful big piece of driftwood, it looks very, very natural. But yeah, it looks super duper nice. And I guess we'll move on to, I would think, the second main show tank they have, which is again a paludarium style. But this is what you normally see with paludariums, which has like lower water, much more stuff on the top. And then this plant actually caught my eye over here. Let me lower down the light. Not sure what this plant is. Still not super familiar with paludariums, but this is definitely a showpiece tank, a showpiece plant over here. And then you have your mosses, which are pretty damp, and I think they kind of run water over here, as you can see. Not sure how they do it, but there's a water running all over. You can see everything here is pretty damp. If you can focus, yeah, you can see that it is pretty damp over here. And there are also mix of like different types of plants, which makes it very, very natural. You can also see that all the background there are all with mosses. However, some are kind of drying up, because you would expect, like with the space without any I would say air conditioning, which reaches temperature around like 30, 32, 33. Yeah, that would be really common here. But the ones on the side there are doing pretty well, I would say. Doing pretty okay. This is also some type of plant I've never really known. But you can see the mosses are kind of growing outwards onto the top, where I would think they get minimal light. But it's really nice. You can see all the driftwood kind of aligning towards like a arch thing on top. And then all the mosses here are growing really nicely. They look very similar to mini Christmas moss, immersed mini Christmas moss, which are really nice. And then you have your this plant I do know it's called a asparagus fern, and then this is the blue peacock fern. I think it has like more of a bluish shine to it. Really nice plant. And then there are more plants over at the back. And I think this is a maybe a philodendron, not sure. But yeah, a super duper cool setup. I think they only recently changed the water. I don't really see any fishes or any livestock down here, but looks very natural. A bit murky, but wouldn't expect much um, with this kind of temperature. Uh, but being able to do this is a very very nice show tank in the middle of the tank, in the middle of the shop. Really nice. And then I guess we have a quick look around in terms of, I would say livestock first. They have your pretty common types like glow light, your amber tetras, some galaxy rasboras. I don't think there's any inside. Most of it it's just amber tetras. I would think the special type that they have is this, but they don't have it in stock. And then some golden ram. This doesn't really look like a golden ram though. Can I focus? Focus. Okay. Doesn't look like a golden ram. Looks like a black ram or like a black tone to blue kind of ram. Really nice. And some rain focus and some rainbow fish. But don't look that they don't really have any color. When they grow up, they are really super duper nice. I'm not really familiar with this type of rainbow fish. It's called a banded rainbow, but still a really cool fish. I think they grow up to this size when they really mature and fully color up. And then you have your other schooling fish like personal favorite is emperor tetra, which are pretty cool. If I can focus, black emperor tetra really cool to see. Some raminos and stuff. You have your lights, equipment, some budget lights. And this I would think it's a Iwagumi mountain style, which is slowly growing in. It's in the early phase of cycling, I would think. Could be only set up within like a few weeks, so you can see a lot of diatom, but still growing in nicely. This is another Iwagumi style tank, not really Iwagumi, but rock style with like a lot of parva, some stem plants, and there's like a can't remember the name of the fish here, but looks pretty cool. But yeah, I would think it's newly set up and still in the cycling phase. Next, we'll go to a very simple tank, just a wood, some rocks, and some epiphytes. Looks very natural, very easy maintenance tank. But yeah, pretty cool. And then you have your substrates over here. Substrates, some tanks, a little small terrarium with like some mosses. Can't remember the plant. This plant, asparagus fern, I think. And then another small terrarium. I actually quite like this plant over here. It has like a purple tinge, and the veins look fantastic. Some more small terrariums, and then another show tank. which I think, not sure what type of rock this is. I would think it looks like, what's it called again? Petrified wood. And you have your, I would think this will be a low tech setup. So you have your really easy plants like your trident ferns. Can't remember what that plant is, like a bomba. Your crepe parva for carpeting. But yeah, really cool tank. Really simple. I like the design. Looks very easy maintenance. And then moving on would be a dry scape, which uses like spider wood on the left, so you can see more of the things on the left. And then I would think that they will plant a lot in the back later on, and then we'll kind of fill up the whole tank. And then another one which I really like, which are Iwagumis. I'm a Iwagumi fan. I like rocks a lot. I like the Zen feel. However, they do get bought very easily, but this is a tank that looks really nice. You can see there is CO2 injection there, and then you can see a cute Amano eating or grazing among the sand, and then a really nice looking tank. There is some Hydrocotyl tripartita, Japan, I think, which looks very natural. But yeah, a very good looking tank. And then you have your, I would say, a very small Dutch style tank. This is, I would think, maybe around 30, maybe 40 cm. This will be like around roughly 36, your 36p. And then a very nice Dutch style, not in the most optimum condition. I would think that the soil has been used a long time, so the plants are not really growing that well, hence the algae are coming in. But you have your Rotala, maybe Walichi or Vietnam, your what's it called again? Alternatura Renikai Mini, and then your Rotala green over there. And then this, I think it will be Hatcharing, and then there's like Bacopa colorata or Caroliniana over on this side. And then the carpet will be all dwarf hair grass. Pretty cool. Next we have I would say it was very popular 4 or 5 years ago during in the 2020s. A kind of like a tree trunk junglescape. I think in IIPLC, I think in 2019 and 2020, someone actually submitted and got really high ranks for this kind of style tanks. But it's a really cool tank. It gives a lot of sense of perspective where you have bigger logs and then other logs at the back. And I think that this is also newly set up. You can see some diatoms kind of forming up. They have some albino cories, some raminos, some tridophyns, Anubias and apatites. They mixed it with sabium stones, and then as you can see at the back, they have some cryptoporins with some algae, but that's pretty common. And then when people want perspective, they usually have a really high soil at the back to kind of create that perspective of distance. But me personally, I don't like putting sand over soil because eventually they get mixed up over time, as you can see over here near the crypt when sea browns and so are kind of coming up over time, which I don't like personally. But still a pretty cool tank. Not a tank I would do, but still looks pretty cool. So moving on, there is this tank that is not, the lights are not on. It looks like an Iwagumi with a lot of hair algae. But yeah, I would think with the temperature here, I'm literally sweating. It's not easy to keep a tank without any algae when you have this kind of temperature here. They also have like a tank running here. Some the lights are not on. Another one here, I think it's cycling. They have some plank selections. I do think some planks are lacking because I think they're currently out of stock. So I won't really take too much look of that. But you have another Palladarium here. I think Palladarium over the recent years are getting pretty famous. This is a very bold move where you can see a very big alocasia there. That could be a philodendron, not sure. But a pretty cool tank. I would think that that's a foam where people kind of carve and then they put stuff there. Pretty cool. And then they have like the submersed plant section, which I think they are still slowly building up. I would think it's almost time to kind of change the soil in the future. But yeah, it's a I would think a 5 feet shallow tank. Pretty cool. Another paludarium style. And then a bonsai tree with like, I think it's called pillow moss, a terrestrial moss, pillow moss on top. Some foams, the river flowing down. Looks pretty nice, pretty cool. You also have your dry scapes on top. Much more right-oriented kind of style. Mix of Malaysian driftwood and some roots. Another kind of like jungle rock style kind of scape. And then this is a centerpiece where a lot of spiky, very dynamic kind of style. Very good looking. And then another terrarium with like a built-in waterfall thing. Some of the mosses are drying up. I would think you need a cover. You're gonna not let the moss dry up. And then another asparagus moss. Really nice. A very cool, I would say, a not usual concept to see where the middle part is directly at the line of the tank. But it kind of gives like different perspectives, I guess. And then you have your hardscape section. So a lot of big Malaysian driftwood. I would think that would fit only a 5 feet tank. This bar here is almost like 3 feet. So if you want to fit all of that in, you'll be a 5 feet tank. But yeah, some more Malaysian driftwood over here. Very nice looking textures. Very common in aquascaping hobby in Malaysia. Some more beautiful driftwoods. Yeah, some more up there as well. And then there's also another one here. And then definitely you always have your cereal stones. This looks like a cereal, but it has more layers to it. Not sure what type it is. Your dragon stone or oko stone, some people call it. Your black lava stone, some small crushed red lava, some more cereal stone down there. This is much more lighter in color. So I think this is the acid wash version, which people wash it with acid and then you'll get a darker tone to the rock. And then this is the normal version where it's much more grayish, not as dark as the acid wash version. But yeah, pretty cool. And then you have your scaping section, which is kind of messy, but I think they are doing renovation and slowly changing up the style in the shop. And then you have a lot more Malaysian driftwood. So here's another tank here. And then maybe some plant holding tanks over here. And then a really cool diorama tank over here. A lot of perspectives. And then I would think that you can see in some competitions they do put glasses over here when they take pictures, it's like a mirror river thing kind of concept. But yeah, a lot of the light is not all sadly, so you can see a lot of reflections. But yeah, really nice looking tank. And then you have, I think they are also dabbling in salt water. So it's still in the cycling phase. And then you have another beautifully set up tank over here. Really nice with, I would think that's Ludwigia inclinata meta there. Some algae. And then, but the driftwood itself looks really nice. Maybe it's Malaysian driftwood, maybe it's not, I'm not sure. But it has like a red brown tone to it. A really nice, good looking driftwood. Different types of plants in there. Some halferi, Pocostima halferi, or people call it daunoi. Your Amanea bonsai or Rotala bonsai, some people call it. There's also Hydrophila pinnatifida, and also Bacopa Sasmani purple. Pretty cool. And then I need to get away from the music so I don't get copyrighted. And then there is also another easy maintenance. Me personally, if I really want to go for a show tank, I would rather go for like an easier maintenance where you have sand, you have some driftwoods, and then definitely a lot of epiphytes. which has lesser maintenance, and I can see that this tank has been really matured. Even the driftwood has started to blacken out. I would think this is spider wood. And then you have a lot of Java fern here and there. Not sure if there is any CO2 injection here. I would think there isn't. But it's a really, really beautiful tank with a lot of different fishes inside. Too much, in my opinion, but still a beautiful tank. Yeah. It's also like a few of Vallisneria's baby down here and there. And then they grow really crazy. Then another Dutch doll isn't really in the most optimum condition. It's a 88 tank, really expensive tank, good quality, expensive. But yeah, a Dutch doll with like, I would think, Wilayah, Semejare, Altena Renikai, Mini, Hairgrass. There's a small Alphery there. A really beautiful betta fish. Beautiful half moon, fully red betta fish over here. Cannot go wrong with a betta fish. Super nice. And then it has CO2 injection. So I guess that's about it in terms of the shop here. I hope you guys like it. Here's a rough look. Let's see how the shop really looks at when you come in terms of a first-person POV perspective. It isn't really a big shop, but it has a lot of choices. You can see a lot of different types of scapes. Personally, I like this scape a lot. And yeah, I would say that's roughly about it. And I hope that you guys kind of like a much more easygoing flow kind of vlog thing that I'm trying to do. But yeah, this is Sari's ArtMOSSphere, a kind of outdoor-ish aquascaping shop in Malaysia. It's located in Setiawangsa, Malaysia. So if you're interested, you can always come over here to visit. But yeah, I think that's about it. I'm gonna end this kind of tour vlog video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.